We're at Montfort University in the Clephan building. It's Saturday the 20th of March for the States of Independence Small Press Day. And I'm very pleased to be here with Saul Pope, who's actually given a talk this afternoon.
Hi.
Good morning, Saul. How are you?
All right, how you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for agreeing to talk to us today. First of all, what is the talk theme that you're giving this afternoon?
Okay, well I'm a novelist and a lecturer, but one of the things I do also is write about football, and I write for the half-decent football magazine When Saturday Comes. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about my experiences writing for them, and also about football fanzines, which I think is a really important part of football culture today, and something that actually gets overlooked quite a lot.
Now, you mentioned When Saturday Comes,
Yeah.
so I'll just hold this up here so people can see it. This is the March 2010 issue, obviously England's moral dilemma all around captaincy and things like that.
That's right.
You were saying, is it the largest independent football?
It is, yes. It started as a fanzine. It was something of a fanzine boom in the 1980s, and When Saturday Comes came out of that. And they started covering some quite unusual angles quite early on, and that got people's interest. And the circulation since then has stayed around the 20,000 mark, and it's gradually become full colour and I guess what you would call a proper magazine.
Okay. Now behind you, we've got on the display here about the Fox as well in the left-hand corner.
Yeah.
I mean, is that something that still exists now as a fanzine for Leicester City Football Club?
Yes, yeah. The Fox is just about Leicester City really, and all issues around that, and it comes out, well, it's bi-monthly now, but I think it's been going for 22 years, and it's still coming out. There was a few years ago a bit of a problem. A lot of the print media, I guess, is having issues with competing with the web. But fortunately, I think for Leicester City fans, and I really mean that, it stayed in existence and it's carried on going. Okay,
now you were mentioning to me earlier when we were prepping for this interview that you'd actually lived and worked in Russia. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's right, yes. Well, I did my degree in Russian. In fact, I did GCSE and A-level Russian as well before that.
Which is a very odd combination.
It is, yeah. I was just fortunate. We had a Russian teacher of maths in our school, and he said, why not for GCSE Russian? And my whole fascination with Russian came from ticking a box to say GCSE Russian rather than German, actually. But I ended up, after my degree, my master's degree, I ended up going to live in St. Petersburg for 5 years. And I was teaching English mainly, but also, I've always been interested in writing. And that's where I first got to write for When Saturday Comes. When Saturday Comes is good, I think, and I liked it before I wrote for them because it covers a lot of different angles about football, nationally and internationally. And being an Englishman living in Russia who likes football and speaks fluent Russian kind of narrowed the field down nicely for me to become their, unofficial Russia and Soviet expert. So that's what I do for them. I write about 6 or 7 pieces a year, I guess.
And you still do that now?
And I still do that now, yeah. There's one coming up in the next month. I'm not in this latest issue you've got here, but yeah, next month I'm writing about one.
Brilliant. And I spotted on the way in here, I'm going to hold this up as well so we can show this. This is Russia, the Man and Jonathan David, which is this your first novel?
It is, yes.
Very good. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well this is about a young Englishman who has rather strange dreams, and one of the dreams is about a beautiful young Russian girl. And he decides that he's got to go out and try to find her, and she's in St. Petersburg. So the whole story really is about him trying to find her and being followed around by various people. I've written a sequel as well called New Holland, which is just in the process. I'm just getting through the second draft of that, but a lot of it for me is just about writing about what a fascinating place St. Petersburg is. Really is a beautiful and wonderful and strange by some turns city.
Now, I went to the Writing Industries Conference last, I think it was Saturday or the Saturday before, it might have been 2 weeks ago now. I was talking about community journalism and blogging, but I was talking to a lot of first-time writers or aspiring novelists, if you like. As someone who's actually written one, and it must be fantastic to see a book with your name on it, if someone comes up to you today after your lecture and says, what advice would you give them about writing or sports writing or fanzines or even writing a novel, what do you think would be the one thing you'd stress?
The one thing I would stress... hard work. It's a bit of a cliche maybe, but this stuff here for me didn't come about through being lucky or knowing it, or it came about through keeping on trying. And when I say hard work, I guess thinking as well, not just actually the writing itself, but it was me thinking, how am I going to get in the press, how am I going to get my passion out there? And I realised, When Saturday Comes, Russia, football, all fits nicely together. So yeah, a bit of a cliche maybe, but hard work and being determined and not giving up when things don't go right at the start, because invariably they don't. That's what I would say.
Brilliant. Saul, thank you very much for agreeing to talk to us.
Okay, thank you.